They met when Olu brought her a wounded animal to heal. They fell in love at first sight. However, their love was forbidden by the healer, who wanted Ada to marry a rich and powerful man from the city. This is a story of a hunter and his young lover. Once upon a time, Olu was a hunter who lived in a small village in the forest. He was brave, skilled, and respected by his people. He loved his young lover, Ada, who was the daughter of the healer. Ada was gentle, wise, and compassionate. They met when Olu brought her a wounded animal to heal. They fell in love at first sight. However, their love was forbidden by the healer, who wanted Ada to marry a rich and powerful man from the city. He threatened to curse Olu if he ever saw him with Ada again. But Olu and Ada could not bear to be apart, so they secretly met every day at the waterfall under the rainbow. One day, as they were kissing each other, they heard a loud noise from the forest. They looked up and saw a huge elephant charging toward them. It was a rogue elephant escaped from a poacher's trap. They had no time to run or hide. They only had time to say, "I love you," to each other before they jumped into the waterfall. 15 days later, the villagers found their bodies at the waterfall, still holding each other. They were shocked and saddened by the tragedy, but they also realized that Olu and Ada's love was true and pure. The healer regretted his selfishness and decided to honor their memory by burying them together in a special grave. He also declared that from then on, no one would ever interfere with the love of his people. The villagers mourned Olu and Ada, but they also celebrated their courage and devotion. They sang songs and told stories about them. They named the waterfall where they met the Lovers' Waterfall. They believed that Olu and Ada's spirit still watch over them from the forest and that their love would never die. Many years later, the village was visited by a young man and a young woman. They were the son of Olu and the daughter of Ada. They had grown up in the city, where they learned to fight and heal. They had also learned the truth about their parents, and they decided to return to their homeland. They arrived at the village and asked the elders about their parents. The elders told them the sad story of Olu and Ada and showed them their grave at the waterfall. The young man and the young woman were surprised that they were holding on to the belief that their parent actually died. They also felt a connection to their roots. They decided to stay in the village and learn more about their culture and history. They informed the villagers that they are the children of Olu and Ada and that their parents are still alive and old. The villagers did not believe them because they were sure that the people they buried was Olu and Ada. How come you are now saying that they are alive and you are their children. They informed them that that is the same reason why their parents have refused to return to the village, because nobody would believe them. The elders met and discussed on how they can go to the city and see things themselves and possibly bring back Olu and Ada from the city. They sent Chief Chima, Chief Omeis, and Mazi Anya. The selected chief went to the city with the children, and behold, Olu and Ada were very much alive. They were wealthy too. They have been engaging in a profitable business that have brought them fortune, and they live in a luxurious house with servants on every corner. The chief couldn't believe their eyes, so they demanded explanation of what is happening. Chief Omeis said, "I was one of those who carried your dead bodies from the river bank to the village. I was the one who helped to lower your coffins. How come you are alive?" Chief Chima responded, "I was the one who washed their bodies, dressed them according to our tradition, and put them in the coffin. How come you are alive?" Olu and Ada asked them to sit down so that he can explain. He offered them food, but they rejected, saying they want to know what is happening first before they can drink water from their house. Olu began to tell them the story. He started, "We were not dead. We were not in this world either. When we saw the elephants coming toward us, we thought that we were going to die. So I hold Ada's hand and we confess our love for each other. And the next thing I remember, he seeing us in an iron cage. We were prisoners in the midst of creatures not familiar to us. They were water spirits. We were in their cell under the water for 14 days before they came to speak to us. It was only one of them that could speak our language and could communicate with humans. Just as we have special humans who can communicate with spirits. Why it took them 14 days to attend to us was because the one that could understand us and communicate with us wasn't around. So when he came to us, we communicated, and he was touched by our story and decided that he was going to help us. That is how they came up with a plan. They brought two of theirs and they transformed into us. They look exactly like us. They said they were going to pretend to die by the side of the waterfall, and the villagers will believe that we are dead, and her father will forget about her, and that is the only way we can continue our love. So the people you buried were the water spirit and was back to their kingdom as soon as they were buried. They were kind to us. They gave us gold and silver and other treasures, and they released us in the bank of a river in this city. That is how we got here. We sold the gold and the silver and started our lives here in the city. We would have returned, but we know how our people would react, and we were scared of my father-in-law, who may try to separate us again. We told our son and our daughter the story, and they decided to come and find out where they are actually from. The chief were amazed and at the same time very happy for their lives. They returned to the village and shared the story with all the people, and they were all surprised and wished to see them also. One day, Olu and Ada decided to relocate to their village. they opened boreholes, built schools, hospitals, and put electricity in the village. The villagers were very excited and spread their stories on the road to their farms, markets, and wherever they went. The people began to allow their children or relatives to love whoever they chose, and they could at most advise them. The young man and the young woman married and settled in the village. They became the new hunter and the new healer, and they taught their skills and knowledge to the next generation. They also had many children who inherited their beauty and wisdom. They lived happily ever after, and they never forgot their parents' love and sacrifice.